we have started our unit 2, that is logic gates and Boolean algebra. In this unit, first we are going to complete the Boolean algebra part. Next we are going to see the logic gates and the finally the K-map or Karnaugh map method. Now, Boolean algebra. Now, who proposed Boolean algebra? In the last session, I have explained some points regarding the Boolean algebra. Can someone tell me who proposed Boolean
George
algebra?
Boole.
George Boole.
George Bull.
Okay,
George.
George.
George Bull.
George Boolean.
Okay, George Boole, who proposed the Boolean algebra. He is one of the famous mathematician, English mathematician. Now, why we are learning in our digital electronics the Boolean algebra? Why we are learning Boolean algebra in our digital electronics? Actually, it is a mathematics. It is a mathematics, but why we are learning in our digital electronics? Because the rules which are defined in the Boolean algebra, the rules are the theorems or axioms are the rules, or simply I can call it as a rules. The rules which are defined in Boolean algebra. By using these rules, we are simplifying our Boolean expressions. By using these rules, we are simplifying our Boolean expressions. We are simplifying our logical expressions, our Boolean expressions. Simplifying our logical expressions. Without modifying the functionality, without changing the functionality. Logical expressions without changing its functionality. Now, sir, what is the meaning of this changing its functionality? Okay, this is what I have explained in the last session. Now, because of this reason, because of to simplify our logical expressions. Okay, why? If I simplify logical expression, what happens? Now, in the last session, if you remember, I have taken one example in the last session. Okay, I have taken one simple logical expression f equal to a complement b plus abc plus ac. Okay, now this is my logical expression. Whatever the rules we have understood, or what are the rules we have learned in our Boolean algebra, by using those rules, I am simplifying this logical expression into in this format. I am simplifying this logical expression into in this way. Okay, I have simplified. What my intention is, I already know the Boolean algebra rules. I already know the Boolean algebra rules, and by using those rules, I have simplified this expression into in this way. Now, okay, up to here, okay. Then, if I simplify this logical expression from here to here, what is the advantage for us? What is the advantage for us? The main advantage what we are getting by simplifying the logical expressions. Now, to design circuits, now to design any circuit, to design any circuit, how we are designing the circuit based on the logical expressions, based on the logical expressions. We are designing the circuits based on the circuit based on the logical expression. Now we are designing the circuits based on the logical expression. If the logical expression is a simplified logical expression, if the logical expression is a simplified or the minimized logical expression, if you are simplifying that logical expression, then your circuit complexity will decrease. The circuit complexity will decrease. What are the circuits you are designing? Whatever the circuits you are designing, that circuit complexity will decrease. The circuit complexity will decrease. Not only circuit complexity, the number of gates which you are using to design this circuit, the number of basic gates or the basic elements, the number of gates what you are using to design that particular circuit, the number of gates which you are using to design that particular circuit will be reduced, when, if you are simplifying the expression, the number of gates will be reduced. Now here I have taken one example. I can show you here how those number of gates will be. Some random example I have considered. Now here, in order to design this circuit, suppose if this expression, if I want to design circuit for this expression, now how many gates are required? First I want to find out how many gates are required. Now one NOT gate is required, and one AND gate here and one AND gate here, 3 input AND gate and 2 input AND gate here. Totally 3 AND gates are required. 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 Now not completed. Now the third one is, finally, in order to combine all these AND gates, finally I want one 3 input OR gate. 3 input OR gate is required. OR gate is required. Third, one OR gate is required. Totally how many gates? One OR gate is required. How many gates total count?
3.
3.
3, sir.
5.
5 gates are required.
5, sir.
Totally 5 gates are required. Here I am giving serial numbers. One NOT gate is required. 3 AND gates are required. One OR gate is required. Now, sir, why NOT gate is required? All those things we are going to learn slowly one by one, that you can understand. Now, NOT gate here for this complement sake, the complement what I have written, for this sake I want one NOT gate. For these AND gates, this multiplication a complement dot b, here internally nothing is there, means we can assume that there is a dot. Okay, dot means just you can assume it as a multiplication. Now here we need one AND gate, here also we required one AND gate, here also we required one AND gate, like 3 AND gates are required, and here one OR gate is required to combine all these. For this plus is nothing but OR gate. Okay, that we are going to see in today's session or the coming sessions, don't worry. To combine all these product terms, okay, actually this we are calling it as a product term, this we can call it as a product term. All these are the product terms. In order to combine all these product terms, we need one OR gate. Okay, totally 5 OR gates, 5 gates are required. Now, in order to design the same circuit, here what we have done, by using the rules what we have learned, what we have learned in our Boolean algebra, I am applying those rules and I am simplifying this expression from this to this. Okay, if I am simplifying this expression from this to this, what happens? Now, how many gates we have reduced in this some random example? Now, definitely one NOT gate is required. Okay, here we don't have the second option. One NOT gate is required. And how many AND gates are required? Two AND gates are required. Two AND gates are required. Why? Because here, if you see, three product terms are there, but here only two product terms are there. Here is one product term, here is the second product term. That is the reason two AND gates are required. Now, third, we need one OR gate to combine those product terms. One OR gate is required. Now, how many gates we have reduced? Only one gate we have reduced. Okay, I have taken some random example. Here we have reduced only one gate. If one gate is also not a problem for us, if you are reducing in this simple example, you have reduced one gate. Like if you take a complex expression, we can reduce n number of gates. We can reduce n number of gates. Sir, what happens? Okay, sir, up to here, fine. If I reduce one gate, what is the advantage we are getting? What is the advantage we are getting? Let us suppose I can tell one by one. We are going to see one by one. Now, the space, suppose I want to design a circuit where I am designing on a hardware. Suppose let us take, this is our circuit board. Now, if I am reducing the one gate, then the circuit board length will be decreasing or not? Space wise,
Yes,
we are minimizing space or not? That means the
Yes, sir.
circuit size will be reduced or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That is one advantage. Okay, keep that aside. Okay, size wise, keep that aside. Now, for this gate, every gate is nothing but a basic element. Every gate, in order to function that gate, we have to provide power or not? We have to give power or not? To function this circuit, we have to provide some external power or not? Why?
Yes,
Because
sir.
all these are the electronic devices. In order to function this circuit, you need to provide the power. Based on the power, it will take the inputs and it will give you the output, final result as an output. Now, if you are reducing one gate, the power required for this gate, we are reducing or not? The power required to this gate, we are reducing or not? And
Yes, sir.
we are reducing the power, as well as uh, in order to design this circuit, we have to buy all these gates. We have to buy individual components. We are reducing cost or not? Economically, the cost will be reduced or not if we reducing one also? Okay, here in this example, only one gate, you can assume it as 10 gates. If you are reducing 10 gates, then the cost automatically decreasing or not to design that particular circuit? That means
Yes, sir.
economically we are reducing the cost, the cheap. Are you understanding? Are you getting what I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That means we are reducing the power consumption required for that particular gate. We are reducing the cost to design that particular circuit. Now we are reducing the circuit size also. Like that, so many advantages we are achieving by reducing a complex logical expression into simplified minimized expression without changing the functionality. Whatever the output you are getting here, whatever the functionality, whatever the function this circuit is providing, this expression is giving, the same functionality also this expression is also giving. That is the advantage of learning this Boolean algebra. Why we are learning Boolean algebra? Because we are learning the rules. These set of rules, and we are learning how we are minimizing this expression into this expression. Actually, what I did here, I have taken the last two terms. What I have did here, how I have converted that into this one. There is a last, I have taken last two terms, ABC plus AC. Now, what are the common terms here? AC is common. I have taken AC common here. Now, this will become B plus 1. Now, B plus 1. any variable plus 1 is nothing but 1, AC into 1. Okay, now this will become 1. This entire thing will become 1, AC into 1. AC into 1 is nothing but AC. That is the reason in that way I have written the final expression as A complement B plus AC. Okay, these rules we are going to learn in our Boolean algebra thing. Okay, Boolean algebra. Now, the main important things what we have learned here is why we are learning Boolean algebra, because we are reducing the logical expression. We are minimizing the logical expressions without changing its functionality. The function won't change. Whatever the function it is doing here. Sir, how to verify? Both are same. You have to draw truth table. You have to draw truth table. That is not required for in this case. Okay. If we go further, we are going to see now, but it is not suitable for every time. It is not suitable for every time. Only if the number of variables are less. If the number of variables are less, then only you can go with this Boolean algebra simplification method. The number of variables are less. If the number of variables are less, you can go with this Boolean algebraic reduction, or you can use your Boolean algebra rules to simplify that logical expression. If the number of variables are less, sir, up to which number of variables, up to how many variables I can use this Boolean algebra? Actually, he is giving one up to 3 variables is best suitable. Up to 3 variables you can use Boolean algebra rules. 4 variables also okay, but there is another approach. If more than 4 variables are 4 variables are there, there is another approach to simplify this kind of logical expressions. To simplify this kind of logical expression, the second method we can call it as a map method. The simplified method, or the easiest method, is map method. One more method is there to reduce the given logical expression into simplified version. That method we can call it as map method, or simply we can call it as Karnaugh map method. Karnaugh map method, that we are going to see in our future sessions. Okay, in the coming sessions. Okay, now at the end of unit 2 we are going to learn the map method. Now that is the basic introduction regarding the Boolean algebra, why we are learning Boolean algebra. Now we are going to see the Boolean algebra rules and some other additional points that are there in the online resources, or whatever the content available with me. Then we are going to see. Now I hope my screen is visible to each and everyone.
Yes,
so many people have joined in the Google Classroom. I seen in the evening some 40 members have joined. Okay, please, if you have a time, please go through those YouTube video sessions if you have a time. Okay, now Boolean switching circuits are also called as logic circuits. Switching circuits are also called as logic circuits. Sir, what are those switching circuits? Here I have not designed. Here I am saying that circuits. Those circuits are nothing but logic circuits or switching circuits. Here for this expression we are designing some circuits. Those circuits we are calling it as logic circuits or switching circuit. Actually, for EC students, actually when I am studying BTech, my BTech, actually for us the subject name is STLD. Later the subject name is modified once or twice. Now you are going to learn the same subject as DE. Okay, when I'm in my BTech, I have learned the same subject. The subject name is Switching Theory and Logic Design. Switching Theory, the STLD, Switching Theory and Logic Design. Okay, the subject name. The same, everything is same. What I have learned in my BTech, all the contents are there, same. The subject name is changed, that is digital electronics. The same subjects you are going to learn digital electronics. Why I am telling? Because this point here you see one word, switching circuit. Switching circuit is nothing but a logic circuit. Gates, logic circuit, gate circuits and digital circuits. All these are the synonyms. Okay, it is not real. Switching algebra is also called as Boolean algebra. Okay, you have to remember this sentence. Switching algebra is also called as Boolean algebra. Now, in the last session, I already explained Boolean algebra. Boolean algebra contain the main important two values. Boolean. Already you are declaring Boolean variables. You are declaring Boolean variables in your programming languages. Like Boolean means we have only two values, either high or low. High is nothing but true, low is nothing but false. Or high we can call it as a logic 1, low we can call it as a logic 0. Or false we can call it as logic 0. Based on that only all those rules which are defined in the Boolean algebra that we are going to learn. Okay, in Boolean algebra, the two important values which it take is, one is true, the second one is false. Okay, the true we can call it as a 1 or high, or is so many different names. True we can take it as a high value, or false we can take it as a low. False we can take it as a low, or logic 0 or logic 1 low, or this we can also call it as logic 0 and logic 1. Logic 0 and logic 1. Logic 1 and logic 0. I hope you are writing some running notes. If you are not writing, then please write running notes, not the each and every point, running notes. Logic 0. Okay. Now, Boolean algebra is a system of mathematical logic. It is an algebraic system consisting of two elements, that is 0 and 1, consisting of two elements 0 and 1, two binary operators called or and a unary operator called not. Okay, actually we are along with these two values, we are also using two binary operators. Binary operator means clearly it is taking two values. The two binary operators are and is one operator, which was it is a binary operator. The second one is a also binary operator or operator, but the third one is a unary operator. Can you tell me what you have understood by binary as well as unary? What do you mean by binary and what is a unary? Binary means what?
Two units.
It takes two units. Binary is nothing but it takes two inputs. That means this operator is taking two input values. And it is giving one output value. Now, unary means what?
One input and one output.
One input and one output. Okay, simple. Simple. Everything is simple. Our subject is very simple. If you understand properly, it is very, very simple. Two inputs, and if it is a unary means it is taking a single input. Unary means it is taking single input and it is giving single output. Unary, it is taking one input. Okay, one input. That means actually in Boolean algebra point of view, he is saying that it is taking two operators, and operator, or operator, and not operator, three operators. The same things. Actually, we are learning the same things in logic gates point of view. The logic gates point of view, there we are these operators as gates. Okay, whatever the operation it is doing here, whatever the operation, these operators, what are the operations they are performing here also the same thing, but in logic gates point of view, we are calling these as gates. The basic gates, we can call it as basic gates. The basic gates are, one is AND gate, two input AND gate, OR gate, and NOT gate. AND gate, OR gate, and NOT gate. That is what I have explained in the starting introduction. Okay, how many gates, how we are designing that circuit. At that time, I have explained these only. Okay, but here in Boolean algebra construct or concept point of view, these we can call it as operators. I hope you are getting my points. Now, That is the what he is explaining. Two binary operators OR and a unary operator called NOT. It is the basic mathematical tool in the analysis and synthesis of switching circuits. Okay, this is the basic mathematical tool. By using this tool, by using this Boolean algebra tool or rules, we are analyzing our circuits. We are analyzing our circuits. Analysis nothing but we are checking the functionality as well as we are reducing the circuit complexity. Analysis or synthesizing the circuit. We are analyzing the circuits as well as we are checking the functionality, whether depending upon the input, whether it is giving the right output or not. Like we are checking the circuit functionality as well as we are reducing the circuit complexity by applying these Boolean algebra rules. No. It is a way to express logic functionality algebraically. Any complex logic expression can expressed by Boolean function. Any expression can be any complex logic can be expressed by Boolean function. Okay, this Boolean function. What is this Boolean function that we are going to learn? Boolean algebra is governed by certain well-defined developed rules or laws. Boolean algebra will be governed by certain well-developed rules and laws. Okay, these are the things we are going to learn in our Boolean algebra. These are the main building blocks to simplify the logical expression. These are the main building blocks. Okay, these are the main building blocks to simplify. If you know the rules, you can easily simplify the Boolean algebra expression or the logical expression. Now he is explaining all these axioms or laws of Boolean algebra. I hope you know. I hope these things you already know. If you don't know, once again I can explain you. Axioms are postulates. Axioms are postulates are of Boolean algebra. Rules are theorems. Just like in your mathematics, you have heard one word postulates are axioms. Axioms are postulates. Okay, axioms are postulates of Boolean algebra are set of logical expressions that are accepted without proofs and upon which you can build a set of useful theorems. Actually, axioms are nothing more than that.
Sir, you are muted.
I don't know why so many times. I don't know whether it is intentionally or unintentionally. Someone is muting me. Okay, axioms are postulates of Boolean algebra are set of logical expressions that are accepted without any proof, without proof, and upon which you can build set of useful theorems. That means axioms or postulates are nothing but they are the logical expressions that are accepted without any proof. Okay, these axioms we don't have any proofs. But by using these axioms, you can build a set of useful theorems. By using these axioms, you can build any useful theorems. Okay, I can you give me an axiom, just like axiom, any universal, like universal truth? Okay, universal truth, that we can call it as a axiom. Okay, can you tell me any example universal truth? Can you give me any example universal truth?
Sun rises in the east.
Very good. Sun rises in the
Sun
east.
rises in the east.
Okay, sun rises in the east. We have any proof? Proof means generally based on the directions. Okay, based on the direction or based on the geographical. Okay, that is a universal truth. Okay, we don't need any proof for that one. Like here also, these axioms or postulates are logical expressions that is accepted by each and everyone. They don't have any proofs. By using these postulates, we are building useful theorems. Okay, no. Now, I don't want to go each and every line explanation. Please go through. I can forward this material to you. Okay. Whenever your meet comes, then I can forward. Okay. See, what are the axioms? What are the axioms of these three operators? What I said previously: and operator, or operator, and not operator. Now, 0.0 is 0. 0.0 is 0. 0.1 is 0. 1.0 is 0. 1.1 is 1. Okay. Now, this is an AND operation. This is an AND operation example. Or okay, before okay, I have not explained the logic gates. If you understand the logic gates, you can understand these axioms clearly. Or based on these axioms only, we have defined that function one gate, called it as AND gate. Okay, now I hope you learn in your mathematics the truth table concept point of view. Truth table concept point of view. I can draw here the truth table. Suppose AB are the two inputs. Okay, and C is my output. Here the C is performing AND. The C is performing AND. AND is nothing but AND is same as multiplication. Now false into false. False into false. False. False into true. False into true. False into true. False, in this case also false. True into false. False. Now true into true. True. Actually, you know these things in your mathematics. I don't know where you have learned. I think so Boolean algebra only. Okay. Now here C is a output. Now C will act as a AND operation. C will act as a AND operation. Now AND is simple as multiplication. AND you can take it as this AND operation as a multiplication. Okay. For our understanding sake only, AND you can consider it as a multiplication. Okay. Now in place of these true and false values, if you take binary 0 and 1, then it is better understood to each and everyone. Now you get a better understanding. If I consider zeros and ones here, why? Because if it is a multiplication, you can clearly understand P, Q, and R is my output. P, Q, R is my output. Now the two input values are the two inputs are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, these are my four combinations of inputs. Now, if 0, 0, 0 multiplied by 0, 0, 0 into 1, 0, 1 into 0, 0, 1 into 1, 1. Okay, this R is nothing but AND operation. Now, R, the output R will act as an AND operation. That is what he explained in those axioms. Sorry, AND operation. Okay, the R, capital R, the output R symbol here will act as an AND operation. Now, that is what he is explaining the axioms. In the same way, R, I hope you know the R operation also. Now, not is a complement or negation. We can call it as a negation. Okay. And now the negation of true is false. Okay. False negation,
True.
true. Okay. I hope we learned these things in our mathematics. Negation means the complement. The symbol what we are using while writing the truth tables, the negation symbol is this one. Okay, I hope you learned. There you have learned in your mathematics P and Q. Okay, P and Q. Okay, this is the AND operator. Okay, AND operator. Or P R Q, P R Q, P R Q. This is the OR operator, P R Q. Or negation P R Q, negation P R Q. Or P implies Q. Like that, you have learned something in your mathematics. Okay. I think so you have learned these things in your mathematics. Now, those we here in our Boolean algebra point of view, these we are considering it as a axioms. Okay, one complement is 0, 0 complement is 1. Now, complementation laws. Okay, what are the laws of these also not required to explain each and everything. One thing we have to remember: if you are complementing anything two times, if you are complementing any variable two times, then you are going to get the original value. Okay, now this is my variable A. This is my variable A. I am applying first time complement. This is the complement of A. If I am complementing once again this A complement whole complement, A complement whole complement, then I am going to get the original value as A. Okay. If you are complementing 2 times A, you are going to get A only. Okay. This, if we want, we can prove. Okay. We can prove how we can prove. Now I am taking one value. Now 6. I'm taking 6. Okay. Now this is our 6. This is our 6 now. Now calculate 2 times calculate 2 times 2 complement for this 6. What is the 2's complement of 6? 1010 na?
101.
Now once again calculate the 2's complement of this one. This is the 6 complement.
011.
This is the 6 complement. Now if I am calculating once again the complement, then what I am getting?
Original
011.
value.
What is this one? 6 only. That is what he is explaining. If you are complementing 2 times any variable, then you are going to get the original value. Okay. This law we have to remember, complementing 2 times. Okay. Double complementation law. Double complementation of law. A complement whole complement equal to A. A complement whole complement equal to A. Here actually it is not a 0. Actually A. It is A. Okay. Here it is wrong. Okay. Here in this presentation it is wrong. A complement whole complement equal to A. Am I clear?
Sir.
Am I
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Now R laws. R laws are very important. R laws are very important. Now anyway, anything plus 0. Anything plus 0. Okay. Anything plus 0. Okay. Anything plus 0. No. R laws. Anything plus 0 is equal to 0 only. R laws. A plus 0. Okay. A plus 0 equal to 0 only. Sir, can you prove this one? Can you prove this one? Okay. How we can prove? Already we have learned the axioms. Already we have learned the axioms here. Already we have learned the axioms here. If you see R operation axioms, these are the logical expressions without any proof. Okay. I'm using this. Okay. Now, if it is a single variable, how many combinations it is? How many combinations you can write? 2 only.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting? Are you getting? Are you understanding? Now
Yes,
here what we should get? 0 plus 0. What I am getting? 0. Now
0.
1 plus 0.
1.
1.
1. Then what he is giving?
0.
It is wrong. It is A only. A plus 0 equal to A only. A plus 0 equal to A only. That means that law is wrong there. Okay. That is wrong. Why? Because whatever the input you are giving, irrespective of your second value, what is the output you are going to get? Am I clear?
A. First one.
I want to show you. If you want
Yes,
to
sir.
proof, I want to show you. See here. Now 0 plus 1 is what? 1 only.
1.
1 only. That is what we have written here. But reverse 1 plus 0. 1 plus 0 is also 1 only. That is here. See here. 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. But what he is giving here? 0. It is wrong here. Actually, A plus 0 equal to A. Here in place of 0, the what in this presentation, it is wrong. See here. It is wrong. It is not 0. In place of this 0, we should have A. We should have A. Are you getting? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Now a plus 1 equal to 1. A plus 1 equal to 1. Now, sir, how? That is what we have seen in our introduction logical expression point of view. A plus 1 equal to 1. A plus 1 equal to 1. Anything plus 1 equal to 1 only. Anything plus 1 equal to 1 only. Now, how many combinations A having?
2.
0 plus 1. What is the value you are going to get? 1.
1.
1 plus 1. What is the value you are going to get? 1. That means irrespective of your input, if the second is 1, what is the output you are going to get?
1.
1 only. That means a plus 1, I can write it as 1 only. Now x plus 1, what is the output? Z plus 1.
1.
1.
Anything plus 1, you are going to get
1.
1 only. Okay, that
1.
is what I have written in the starting when I am writing ABC. Okay, if you remember the example what I have given, ABC plus ABC plus AC. Okay, among these two terms, we can call it as a term. Okay, among these two terms, I have taken AC as a common. Now I have taken AC as a common. Now what it will become? B plus 1. Am I
1.
correct? Now this B plus 1 I can write it as B
1.
plus 1 I can
1.
write it as 1 only. 1 into
1.
AC. AC only.
Yes,
Now that
sir.
is what I have written in the starting example. That is what I have written. That means anything plus 1 equal to 1 only. Okay. That is one more law. It is an important law you have to remember. And A plus A equal to A. 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 Are you getting? Are you understanding these rules? What I am
Yes, sir.
saying? These are simple rules only. You know in your basic mathematics. That is the reason I am going little bit fast. Okay. Please go through. Okay. It's already 11:46. Okay, I can stop here. Tomorrow we are going to see UNDLAS and we are going to solve some. These I don't want to explain much about. Why? Because the commutative law, associative law, distributive law, complement law, all these laws you have learned in your mathematics. You know, he is giving with proof also. He is giving with proof also. By taking the logic 1 and logic 0 as an inputs, he's giving the proofs also. If you go through this PDF, definitely you can understand. If you are facing any problems, then we will come back. I want to clarify your doubts. What we are doing after learning these rules, or what after learning these laws, what we have to do, we are doing some problems. How we can reduce the logical complex logical expressions into simplified or minimized logical expressions, that we are going to see in our further sessions. Okay, now today I can stop